This is how you can learn 100 words a day in any language easily. Not words, sorry, 100 sentences, which is even better. In fact, this contains more than 100 words because each sentence has more than one word. So in total, it's going to be way more than 100, probably 150, maybe even more. I don't know the exact number. Let me check. 165 words, individual single words, 400 words in total, 450. So you can learn 100 plus words and 100 sentences easily with this method. Yeah. First thing you need is to have a list of everything you want to say. All right. And then once you translate it, you take it here to any kind of text to speech software like this one. This is TTS Maker and it's really good. And I already created the audio files because sometimes it takes a few minutes and I didn't want to do it in the middle of the video. And if you did, or if you're doing my 30-day language challenge, and you've noticed that some languages have some audio files missing, and yeah, because creating hundreds of hours of audio takes a lot of time, right? But for a short audio file like this, a couple of minutes. But once it's created, you can listen to it while reading. So play here.
Καλώς όρισμα. Γεια σου.
You can read it.
Τι κάνετε? Το όνομά μου είναι Μικέλ. Πώς σε λένε? Χάρηκα που σε γνώρισα.
And okay, you have no idea what you're reading or you're listening to. But if you've got the spreadsheet in front of you, then you can read while listening and you can simply check the meaning whenever you don't know whenever you don't know a sentence. And you will notice that this is a 3-minute 40-second audio file. How many times a day can you listen to a 3-minute 40-second audio file? Dozens of times. All right. So the first time you'll read it while listening and you will not understand much. The second time you'll understand way more. The third time you'll understand even more. And after 10 times of reading while listening, you'll understand pretty much everything. You'll remember all the sentences. Also because they are your own sentences and they are meaningful, right? They're relevant, you wrote them, and you will remember the meaning of them. So much easier to learn that way as well. But it's just sheer repetition. And if you read while listening for half an hour or even an hour a day, which is already a lot for some people, but it's really not that much if you are a student or if you've got some free time, you will learn them easily. But if you then also listen to them while you do something else, you just put them, like you download the audio file, click in here, and you put them on your phone, and you listen to them while working out, for example, you can get 3 hours or 4 hours a day of practice of reading and listening, mostly listening practice. There's no way you don't remember all the sentences after so much repetition. And eventually you can also start just saying them aloud. That's going to be even more useful because if you review something actively, like saying the sentences aloud, you're much more likely to remember it. And also you develop speaking fluency. You develop muscle memory on your mouth and you improve your pronunciation, and you learn not only to understand those sentences, but also to say them. And for most people, 10 times of reading while listening, or 10 total reps of the whole thing, 10 reviews, is usually enough to understand them pretty well. 20 to 30 and saying them aloud, enough to remember them and say them, like to be able to use them relatively effectively in conversation. All right. And this is without even using the mnemonic associations. I highly recommend you use associations to memorize the vocab, to make it stick long term in your memory, short term and also long term. That's extremely effective, but a lot of people seem to hate it and they don't want to use it because they're not good at it. And it requires some practice, right? And if you don't enjoy doing it and you don't do it much, then you'll never get good. So obviously it won't work for you. But even if you don't want to use that and you just read and listen and repeat aloud the sentences, if you get enough reps of these 100 sentences or your daily 100 sentences, you'll remember them. And now some of you might, if you were still watching, You will be saying things like, okay, but what happens when uh, like tomorrow I try to learn 100 more sentences and then I need to review this, and how do you not forget them? Well, it's a 3 minute audio file, 3.5 minute audio file. Just put tomorrow you do 100 more sentences and you put them in the same playlist, and you crash those sentences, lots of reading and listening, the new ones, and then you put them together on a playlist and you listen to both 100 sentence lists back to back while while you do something else. Again, several hours of listening a day, and even after a week or 2 weeks of listening, after a week of listening, you'll have 700 sentences, and that'll be like 25 minutes of audio maybe. You can still listen to the whole thing once or twice per day, all of your sentences. And because you had so much repetition in the beginning, when you focus on that specific list of 100, you will easily remember them when you listen to them, and you can also say them aloud when you listen to them. And it's simple. You just do this with 100 new sentences every day, and in a few weeks you'll know thousands of useful sentences if you took the time to write your language islands about all the topics you want to be able to talk about and all the situations you want to be able to communicate effectively. And if you keep doing it, eventually you'll be able to speak fluently.